أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Here we are again, Pakistan International School Taif Virtual Learning System. Welcome you all in Class 6 Social Studies. I am your teacher, Saeed Ahmad Lagari. As you know, in the last lecture, we have completed chapter number 15, and today we are starting chapter number 16, Early Pakistan. In this chapter, we will learn about the Mohenjo-daro and Indus Valley civilization and the Dravidians. I have separate this chapter into two parts. First part of this chapter we are learning today, and inshallah, the next part of this chapter we will learn in the next lecture. So, this section, first section, we have completed. The second section of this book is about the history. In the history, now in chapter number 16, we are learning the history of Pakistan, but the early Pakistan. Now I am reading and you will listen very carefully and follow the book, page number 76. For thousands of years, different races have poured through the Khyber and Bolan passes, especially from Central Asia into the northern part of the subcontinent, with good farmland, plenty of water, and in past times, many forests. It must have seemed a wonderful place after the dry plains of their homelands, as well as plenty of food. There was gold and silver too. Some invaders came to raid for treasures and to take prisoners for slaves. Others came to conquer and stay. Many of these invaders, conquerors, and raiders settled down, especially in the northwest where the Pakistan is now, and have added a wide range of races, languages, and customs to our country. Mohenjo-daro and Indus civilization. About 4,500 years ago, there was a mysterious and very civilized state in the Indus Valley. It stretched over almost all of what is now Pakistan and eastwards to Delhi. The remains of two great cities, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, as well as hundreds of villages, have been discovered. The people populating these villages were called Dravidians. The people who live in Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, these peoples are called as a Dravidians and seems to have been more civilized than any other people in the world. So Dravidian peoples are really very more civilized people at that time any other peoples in the world at that time. Mohenjo-daro was about 7 kilometers all around. So all around, leftward, rightward, upward, and downwards, its total is length is 7 kilometers all around. With its main streets 9 meters wide. So its streets are at that times are very wide, and the streets are 9 meters wide. Between these ran similar streets, often with Z bends in them. Can you think of any reasons why these roads had sharp corners in them? So this is the question for your thinking, and you can get its answer why if you can see the map of, or the this map, or the other map I will show you in the other page, and it will be clear from this. The houses were made of mud bricks and often had rooms. At then that times, people are using the mud bricks for the construction of their houses. So this is the great bath of Mohenjo-daro as it is today. It is a 12 meter. It is 12 meters long and 7 meters wide. It may have been used for religious purposes. At the back are small rooms. At the back, look here, or at the back are the small rooms, each with a pool of its own. These may have been for the priests. So look at here, these are the small rooms, and they have also their own pools, and they are for the big religious personalities like as priests. They are using these pools. So now I am continuing the reading. On the upper level, which is very unusual indeed, in such early buildings, richer houses had bathrooms with baths made of clay and lined with tar to make them waterproof. They also had simple toilets. These emptied into a covered drains. So the drains are covered. These emptied into covered drains which are rained down the center of the main streets. In the center of the city was an artificial hall made of mud bricks. Here were the most important buildings. The we can see in the center of the city was an artificial hill made of mud bricks. Here were the most important buildings. The main one being a huge bath, as we have learned in the previous page. This is the huge bath which we have seen in this page. Huge bath with steps leading to it. It may have been part of the temple, and people had to bath in it before going in for religious ceremonies. There are the remains of a huge hall with a many pillars, and archaeologists think this may have been some kind of parliament or government building. No sign of a palace has ever been discovered, and as we believe, the whole of the Indus Empire was ruled by priests. Other cities were built on similar lines to Mohenjo-daro but were smaller. So these are the two pictures of Mohenjo-daro. and you can see how the Mohenjo-daro was civilized at that time. So these are the few things we learned today about the history and the early Pakistan. I think you have better understand from the today's lesson about Mohenjo-daro, which is situated in Larkana district in province of Sindh, Pakistan. And from this lesson, you have understand that how the Mohenjo-daro was civilized at that time when there was no civilization exist in the world. So this is the end of first part of our chapter number 16, and inshallah we will learn the other part of this chapter in the next lecture. Now I am giving you a little homework assignment from this chapter, which you can learn again and you can get the answers of these questions very easily. Question number 1, reading about the Mohenjo-daro, how would you describe the city? You know, we have learned in this chapter, so you can easily get answer of this question. So write it and send me in my WhatsApp. Question number 2, can you suggest other things that might have happened to make the people leave? Or had they gone before a new invaders swept into the subcontinents? So these are two questions, but the question number 1 is more important than the other one, the second one. So you must give the answers of question number 1 by reading the first, and the second question you can follow the net also and you can give the answer of these two questions. So boys, this is the end of our lecture. Thank you very much, and thank you students. Wish you all the best. Inshallah we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.